going on, blind peoples? It's your blind buddy. You heard me right. So what's going on, blind people? It's your blind buddy. I'm trying to get all of us where we can see the same way, you know what I mean? Because we all blind. You know, we run around in a place, well, until we can see, we all gonna be blind. So, you know, I'm blind in a manner the way I can see, and I'm sharing my vision. So, you know, it's like these visions that come to me is visions of strength to me. Because they're showing life in a different perspective, in a different place, other than what I've always known and what we've always, all of us have always known. And it's like, it comes to me as the way you live your life after this message, the way you continue on in your life after this message will show you in which direction that you're headed. I sit here, and when things like this come to me, I just get up and I'm prompted to turn on the recorder. So as many would know, that if you've heard any of my videos, you would see that, you know, I was like, well, man, I'm finna see what the Spirit gonna say through me now. This is one of them times, and it's like, well, the way this is going, it's like it's instructions, and I'm following the instructions, you know, as best I can, because of the destination that's been shown to me, that by following, you know, by keeping the course of what the Spirit is leading me and instructing me to do. So doing this right here, I'm not, you know, expecting to gain the world, because if I could, man, that would be great, wouldn't it? You know. But, you know, as a thing that, as a part of God being the increaser, and, you know, I'm just being the one that's planting the seed, I'm just doing my job, doing what I'm supposed to do. All right, now, in retrospect of that, the way we continue on in our life, after we hear certain things, like, you know, a lot of people have heard me talk about, you know, going against the God of money and the things of that nature. This is a world where all those things that come together to make this world evil or combined, and we have to see where we're actually mixed into that puzzle that's continuing this world to be like it is. And it came to me, it was like, what if God would do what people are trying to do down here? What would happen? What would happen? It still wouldn't last, because everybody here is gonna die. You know what I mean? The life here is going to cease to exist for everyone. There's no one here that can get around life ceasing to exist for them. You understand what I'm saying? So the manner in which we travel in this life, trying to ensure life for generations to come, the life for generations to come should be in a place where forever exists. You understand what I'm saying? Not in a place where you're not even going to see it. You know? You don't prepare a life for a generation in a place where you don't get to see it. You prepare that life in a place to where your generations come to you, in a place to where, you know, in the word it say, you know, believers, if you believe in God, your belief can save your loved one. You know what I mean?
I do.
And that's only in the spirit. That's, you know, you have to be right in the spirit yourself in order for God to be able to even hear you. That's why, you know, that's why I do what I do. You know, I pray for the souls. So, cause, you know, there's something I know that souls that don't know. So that's why I do what I'm doing. And speaking in the manner that I speak, only those that understand that I'm speaking the truth will hear it. Those that think that don't know the truth, and all they're going to hear is a bunch of riddles because they're looking for direct information that will get them a quick fix from the things that they know they have done wrong in their life. They're looking for that quick microwavable fix that will jump them from straight from evil over into automatically doing good, and it ain't learned a thing. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. The children and the generation today, they have no guidance. And they've been taught not to be guided. And those that are willing to hear, those are the ones that don't even get a chance, because you got the older ones that's telling them to continue on in the path that they themselves hadn't even learned yet. You know what I mean? So you got a world full of adults that were babies when they had babies. Now the babies are adults, and the babies are old people still acting like children. And continuously taking down a place that everybody says is going to come together for peace. And God's going to save all of us in love, but you're only going to love a certain kind, a certain one. And you can't even see that. You don't even make sense to God. Because, if I was sitting up there and you said something like that, it don't even make sense to me. And I'm just as imperfect as everybody else. So to a perfect God, I can only imagine how foolish it sounds to him. You got a generation of unknowledgeable children with the wrong knowledge given by the wrong ones that didn't have knowledge themselves in the first place. And now the ones that should have been doing the right thing had to sit back and watch all the mayhem and destruction that they done laid down for their own self, now that they too old to do anything. After this, what are you going to do with your life? There ain't going to be another generation to come through that's going to be able to say, well, time is getting short. The world, no. We living in the living word. So what generation was said to gonna come after that? That wasn't a generation that was spoke of. Y'all can talk about this generation X all you want there. It wasn't spoke of in the Bible, so why man feel like, that they got something they gonna do outside of God? Yeah? You gonna save the earth? Did God say he was gonna say? He said if you get on your face and repent, he will heal your land. But if you're looking at that in the wrong manner, you want God to save something you done destroyed. How do you save something that's done been destroyed? It's got to be rebuilt from scratch. You can't rebuild something that's been destroyed. It's done been destroyed. Is destroyed. And when it comes down to what God has built, compared to what man has done did to put his little spin on it, you done destroyed what God had. And what you trying to rebuild it to? You gonna rebuild it back to its original state? Then you would have to destroy everything that you done put up and the way you put it up and start over. Then what would you do? How would you continue your life on from this day forward, knowing that the world is destroyed already? Would you continue to try to rebuild it? Would you continue to try to build it from what's already been? Would you drink poison out of drink clean water out of a poison container? Huh? Would you drink Kool-Aid out of a gas jug that's done been used? Huh? Would you drink out of a glass that's done been passed around the room 15 times before it got to you? Ask yourself, how would you continue? After you done seen what's happened, how would you continue? How would you continue your life? Would you just look past, you don't know what you're talking about, and just continue on? Or would you think about it? Really think about it. And seek out more truth than to continue on in what you know to be a lie. If you don't believe it to be a lie, then, hey, guess what? Continue on. Continue on. Continue. It's that simple. All right, I was prompted to get on here, man. Wring this towel out. I'm gonna snap it and see if it wet back up. If it do, I wring it back out on y'all again. That's it. You blind buddy.